And welcome back. And this is a part two. The Zoom has crashed, which is the first time that happened ever for me. And I'm just choosing to make this into okay, it's a sign we needed a little toilet break and a drink break. And now we're diving into part two. So we were talking about nervous system regulation and how releasing from the core of us the old trapped emotions opens up our bodies and our system to think far above the survival. And this is a super, super important for someone who finds themselves in some survival states of feeling and being throughout their day. And they struggle to feel more than they desire. If you are struggling with feeling high elevated emotions in your meditations, when you are creating, manifesting, and building something beautiful for yourself from higher emotional states. And you need to remember that you cannot do this without first feeling deeply the lower emotional states trapped in your body, because they've got to be felt, seen, and heard and discharged out of your system. That doesn't mean you need to identify with them. This is not what this work is about. It's actually feeling them, but not identifying as tiny energy of that. So if you find yourself circling between old and new and going into some waves and patterns of old you and new you, the nervous system regulation is an absolute must. Is an absolute must if you desire to fully, permanently, and move the scale and raise your frequency, raise how you think and feel about yourself, and no longer be unconsciously or consciously driven by your old emotions of your past. So I'm not going to be diving into this one in all depth because I did that already inside of Emotional Intelligence Hybrid Program. This is where I explain in depth the process and flow of a single emotion through your whole body, of leveling you and expanding your frequency. What I want you to know is the tiny energy of guilt and shame, which is 2030, it is very contracted. And when you are identified with it, whether you know about it or not, you are in suffering. You are in survival, and you cannot think above by pretending that that energy is not within you and doesn't drive you. Okay. You can only step into feeling higher elevated emotions and having high emotional intelligence by first expanding your whole energy, being aware of what's really within you and feeling it all. So when you have that expanded emotional intelligence, that expanded awareness, when you're operating from love and above frequency in your life, in your relationship, in your purpose work, in your soul mission business, when it comes a moment when you have decided, okay, this is the new thing I'm going to do, I'm gonna feel the feel, do it anyway. It's gonna be challenging, but I'm gonna stretch, I'm gonna expand, and I'm gonna make it happen. Period. You will feel also those slower, tiny emotions of guilt and shame, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, whatever it is. You will feel them, but because your energy is so expanded, you will process them. You will sit down, you will do the breath work, you will do the meditation, you will process them, you will acknowledge it, you will shine the light on your shadow, and you will probably, with time, with practice, release them within minutes, and then you will move on to your desired plan of action, and you will never again be slowed down or taken out of your alignment. You will make things happen. Obviously, when we are creating wealth, for example, it isn't based on just sitting and meditating on wealth. It is you walking, breathing, cleaning, living, and taking actions as a wealth identity embodiment person. Okay. So action taking from that higher frequency while you're simultaneously processing lower energies is the way to go and make things happen. Okay, another thing I want you to know is that to successfully process, digest, release, discharge, or express your all trapped emotions, you need to learn the process of disassociating yourself from being those old emotions. We have been conditioned into believing that you are, if you're going to feel the fear, it means you are the fear and you're gonna become fearful person. That's only for unconscious people. When you are slowing down your breath, when you are finally feeding your body with enough of sun, air, deep, long, slow breaths, and water that goes into all of the particles of you, I explain in depth how to do that in both of the programs, Emotional Intelligence Hybrid Program and Reset and Rise Up. You will start moving your body and your cells from survival to above survival level. And when you can actually give yourself enough of air, enough of water that goes into the deeper layers of your tissue, because now you have silica restored in your body, now you have all of those minerals within your body taken daily that take the water into deeper layers of your tissues, not just flow through. Now you are actually able to be present with yourself much more. Now you're actually capable of feeling what flows through your body without necessarily being identified with that old emotion or old thought. And that's the process. It's about being able to feel what it is. But I see lots of people who call themselves, that's very unfortunate, they call themselves that they're processing their emotions. But all I hear from them and all I see when I see them online is anger, resentment, and unworthiness and anxiety. You cannot process successfully emotions and still stay stuck. You're just refilling them and fooling yourself. You're actually processing or digesting them or releasing them, but you are not. So learn how to successfully process, digest, release, discharge, express those old emotions in the right way. So you are no longer a victim of your past, victim of your old emotions. When you are raising how you think and feel about yourself through processing what got trapped within you along the way, you cannot help but to feel super high. Example, yesterday, it's just feeling yesterday, felt all of the low emotions that came up, took responsibility for them, didn't deny myself expressing out loud how I feel, even if it wasn't all positive. And allowing myself to digest them, allowing myself to call upon the higher support and apply those tools that I'm teaching. The afternoon was absolute heaven and blast. Absolute heaven. Today I have an entirely different approach towards what I was experiencing yesterday morning. And that's a miracle. To no longer act as I was conditioned to be through the disempowerment, but become fully empowered and change in one day something that could brand me for the rest of my life. That's how big this thing was. That's why we see people who are, something happened 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and they're still branded. They still weren't able to change their emotional state. They're identified with it right now. So when you feel your emotions, that's one thing. But if you're identified with them, you're staying as a victim and a slave to those old emotions. Now, when you fully digest them without being trapped in the story behind the emotion, now you're just expanding your awareness and emotional intelligence because you're observing that. Now you are able to choose when you're using actively nervous system regulation. That gives you a choice. Am I gonna go and do, or am I gonna relax? Which way am I going to process and release that energy? You're actually having a choice. And then you get to choose how to discharge and release and express that emotion out of your physical body through the physical activity. And now you created a space within your body, within your energy, within your emotions, and within your physical body. You physically gonna feel a space and a stretch. And now it is your job to anchor a new higher energy into that place. Now, if you're just creating space, if you're just releasing, but you don't put more effort into replacing it with a higher frequency, the old self is gonna come back into that place again. Just watch for any situation out of norm that is gonna happen, and then you're back again, triggered by the old. Why? Because that old energy was processed, released, but it wasn't replaced with new higher energy. And that's what I'm amazing at with my one-on-one clients who are ready to fully and entirely level up to the core and never, ever, ever again be their old self. Just a few days ago, I had a meeting with my one-on-one client who's with me for a while. She said, Eliza, I feel nothing like my old self. I feel like an entirely different person to the point I have to slow down when I'm doing something and remind myself, who am I, what's going on, what's happening. And now we are working with her on a whole another level, an embodiment on a deeper level, their new higher self, and leveling up consistently. Okay, loves, what is the next step to go deeper? Bringing higher results in your life. I would take this training and I would process it for at least a week, every single day. The fact is, you don't have to do it for a week. You can actually do it for 3 days, 2 days, but go all into it. Don't watch other stuff. Go all into it, into implementation, being with it, feeling with it. You will notice the shift and results. But if you want to go deeper and permanently shift things in your life, I'm going to encourage you to allow yourself to receive the in-depth teachings and tools outlined for Reset and Rise Up, which is nervous system regulation program, and emotional intelligence hybrid program. In the email that I'm going to send it to you after this training, you would be able within a few days grasp an amazing opportunity and allow yourself to grab a bundle and empower yourself, your body, your emotional intelligence with the spiritual tools, like a tool belt with a person who is going and it's equipped with everything you want, need, and desire. I had multiple times my clients saying, Eliza, I got from you tools for life. I got from you tools for life to grow and expand. I remember that I heard that from that person about 2.5 years ago. Just a few months ago, I heard from her, and she said to me, Eliza, everything you have taught me, Dr. Joe Dispenza, I manifested my dream person. I'm not gonna put the names, but she shared with me. We are getting, a few months later, I got another message from her, Eliza, we are getting our place together. And it's just absolutely phenomenal. She's growing, expanding, and she is actively using these tools every single day. And that's the beauty of gifting yourself the investment into you. You are your biggest asset. You are your biggest asset. You create your life, your experience. So if you invest into up leveling your energy frequency, obviously your life experience is going to grow and expand. So inside of Reset and Rise Up, I'm going to share in the last few minutes, you will get all of the teachings and tools about nervous system regulation and reset. You will get an in-depth tools, the medium level tools, and the basic, the starter, beginner level tools. You would be able to use them every single day and change how you think and feel about yourself. You would be able to gift yourself an opportunity to release the stuff that no longer has to define you. The most beautiful about this process is that Reset and Rise Up, you don't have to go into that old experiences. You can just allow your body naturally to release and shake it out while you are breathing lovingly into your belly and into your chest while I'm guiding you through this facilitation breath work practices. There is also many different practices that I'm outlining over there for you to dive into. And this is something you can hop into right now without waiting for another week, for another session to come in or another training. It's already there available to you to hop into right now and make it your new norm. Investing into yourself and up leveling on each level. Your relationship will change. Your business is gonna create a whole new results and impact in the world and income for you. Your whole meaning of life is going to change and up level. Emotional intelligence hybrid program is going to help you understand yourself on another level. It's going to help you see your magnificence. It's going to help you release your shadow. It's going to help you see how beautiful, phenomenal you are exactly the way you are. And it will support you in falling in love with yourself, who you are, and bringing to the surface your highest unique qualities. This is the program that was created in such a beautiful, loving community, and you are going to nothing but to love watching and rewatching those sessions and applying into your life and feeling change, feeling shifted, and feeling uplifted. The access to them is for lifetime, and you can get 2 of them together for a much much, much, much lower price in the email that comes to you very soon. And I believe that it is, I need to double check, but I believe there is 3 days, I believe you have to get this offer, and then the doors get closed for a while. So I would definitely not hesitate, not sleep on this one at all, and create a permanent shift in your life. I'm going to say a massive thank you for you being here. It took us much longer than we planned to do it, but I truly believe it is going to change your whole life if you will allow it. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this work. Thank you for redoing this work. Thank you for constantly going inwards and creating a shift that expands into the whole wide world. I love you. I appreciate you, and I will see you soon. Please message me, private message me on Instagram. What has shifted? What has moved? How did you felt when you watched that? And how would you rate this training from 0 to 10? I love you.